Donald Trump, is he part of that?
Donald Trump is one of the gayest people I've ever seen.
Elaborate.
Donald Trump is old school gay. Because, gay guys used to be mean before media training.
And they're nice now.
Gay guys are nice now. I mean, Donald Trump is old school gay where he should have been like a red carpet fashion advisor or something.
Got it.
He should have been standing on the side and being like, that dress, honey, I don't think so. That would have been amazing. I would have watched every night. Instead, he ran for office on a platform of mass deportation. So that's where things got tricky, obviously. But I do think he's very gay.
Comedian Caleb Heron had this take on Donald Trump. And it wasn't just the president.
Okay, I'm going to ask you about some cis-het male American icons. And can you tell me how you can support their right to express their masculinity? Andrew Tate?
He's walking around in a Speedo, like, talking about other men's physiques and, like, smoking on cigars, which are pretty phallic.
Smoking on cigars is phallic.
The way they puff it, doesn't it evoke a little bit? Don't you? You kind of look at it and you go, okay, someone wishes that was. Don't you think? I think a lot of people are going to resonate with this. I think your listeners know exactly what I'm talking about. Guys who smoke cigars, it's just a little like, okay, what is this? The Sopranos?
Okay.
Anyway, I digress, anyway.
Elon Musk.
Stop with the jumps.
Then they would discuss Caleb's space, not necessarily stand-up comedy, but...
Do you think that male podcasters are a community that deserve to determine the election?
Well, no, I wouldn't have that be happening personally. If I could make the world different, I wouldn't have, Joe Rogan, the Paul brothers, and all those guys impacting U.S. democracy. But I guess that is where we're at.
Is that the country we deserve?
Oh, probably deserve. Yeah, I think it's a pretty rough way to start a country the way that we did it. But yeah, probably what we deserve.
And what was the rough way that this country started, to be clear?
Right. So I would go ahead and say slavery, the genocide of Native American people.
Got it.
I would consider that to be rough.
And lastly,
Democrats and Republicans alike are trying to find their base. What is your advice for reaching male audiences in this podcast space?
My advice for Democrats, Republicans are already kind of finding an angle on it. Don't tell people the economy is going well when they can't pay their rent. Make people's lives better. Make their groceries more affordable. But I guess if you want the real answer, or the silly podcast answer, it'd be like, talk about football and barbecue. But I think, like, seriously.
Wait, why did you say that?
Because that's, like, I think there is this conception that, like, men are, like, these, like, basic... like stupid creatures who just want to like talk about dumb stuff. But it's like, well, no, most men, just like most women and most trans people and most people in the country in general, are working class. And a lot of the Democrats' last message was actually the economy is going great, but it's not.
one thing I'd like to get back to is this joke of Trump being a gay man, because some have really played into it.
But Arnold Palmer was all man, and I say that in all due respect to women, and I love women. But this is a guy that was all man. His man was strong and tough. And I refuse to say it, but when he took showers with the other pros, they came out of there, they said, oh my God, that's unbelievable. I had to say it. President, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me president, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy, very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. President, could I ask you a question? What?
And if there's one thing that we absolutely know about all of this, they will hate it. They will despise it. I've seen this trend on TikTok for quite some time, and every time I do laugh, because the way that Donald Trump, first off, mannerisms, the way that he dances with both hands, the way that he speaks of people that he likes, specifically that story of being in a golf locker room. And this was, I believe, if I'm correct, it was in Milwaukee, I want to say. I'm sorry, it was in Pennsylvania. My apologies. Because that's where Arnold Palmer was born. And this is on the campaign trail. So that quote directly, when he took the showers with other pros, they came out of there, they said, oh my God, that's unbelievable. I had to say, we have women that are highly sophisticated here, but they used to look at Arnold as a man. It's unbecoming. Unbecoming of a president. It's also unbecoming when someone like him talks about his daughter that way and is unafraid to say pretty grotesque things. Going back to Z-Way and Caleb Heron, it's a must-watch. I think all of Z-Way's stuff is must-watch. She has been a writer for a long time. I believe she wrote for Deezus and Mero along with other shows. And then during the pandemic, she started doing Instagram Lives, built up a humongous following, which she already had already, got even bigger. And then she had on humongous names and asked them very uncomfortable questions. Very, very, very uncomfortable questions. What I do think is funny is when someone matches her energy and you see her kind of like go back into a corner and she's not one to answer stuff, but like a great example is the Roy Wood Jr. episode. That was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Where she asked, what is something that you should, what's some advice that you could tell the American youth? And he just goes, without even a slight pause, leave. The United States of America is a big HOA country. And she was just flabbergasted, like, oh, so there's no hope. Leave. He's like, yes, leave. I remember the Chet Hanks episode. Really weird, but funny. Super funny. The Alana Glazer episode. Awkward, but funny. That's what she's going for. It's really interesting to see how transforming over time, media has become the Barbara Walters to just having fun and laughing, which can be great and also detrimental to the industry, which I've talked about many, 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 many times. Lastly, Caleb Heron had a great answer on the podcast space. A great answer. And it got me thinking, what could possibly the Dems do? You know, what could they do to try and win over voters? And they're not. They're banking off of Republican incompetence instead of going away from centrism, going away from liberalism, which they won't. And he's right. His answer was fantastic. Saying the economy is great and people working 2 jobs to get by is not great. It sucks. And then his answer about football in the podcast space, also awesome. So please check out these individuals, Caleb Heron and Z-Way. They are both fantastic. Stephon Diggs, the newly signed receiver with the New England Patriots, is in hot water once again. In Miami, Diggs was partying on a boat when someone with a camera phone filmed him giving the women he's speaking with an unidentified, what's been called substance. The fallout now has hit Foxborough really, really hard, with coaches being asked about this. Scenes from the party, not gonna lie, pretty lit.
A video of Stephon Diggs has gotten a lot of traction in the last 24 hours or so. He's on a boat having a good time, but the question comes in as to a certain substance that people are guessing what is and isn't. Is this something that the team has to look into?
Well, it's something that we're aware of, and obviously we want to make great decisions on and off the field. And we're hoping that with our time here on the field today, and that when we don't have a script and we're on the call-up periods, that we're making great decisions. And so the message will be the same for all our players, that we're trying to make great decisions, and any conversations that I've had with Stephon will remain between him and I and the club.
Have you talked to him since the video?
I talk to our players every single day, the ones that are here and the ones that aren't.
Are you expecting him to practice today, Mike?
Not if he's not here.
So he's not here.
You guys will find out in a minute. But no, again.
New head coach Mike Vrabel would address the media, and he would be put in a spot no coach would like to be put in because of the video we just witnessed. One video that's also gone viral.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
What the hell? Diggs.
Why Diggs?
Man, no. We're going to leave it like that. No.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
Oh, Stephon Diggs.
Why Diggs?
He's crazy. He's just outrageous. Don't know what he's gonna say. Just don't know what to expect every day. So he couldn't date my sister.
Who on his team would you least like to date your sister?
Least I could date my sister, Diggs. 100%.
Why Diggs?
Because he's not a guy that you want to bring home to your parents. Like, you don't want your sister to bring him home to your parents, so therefore she can't date him.
And shout out to this TikToker who summarized Diggs' career in one video.
Hey, buddy, it's me. Think you know what this is about. Listen, you're Stephon Diggs, wide receiver 1. You know that. I know that. Everyone knows it. No one can guard you. But you can't really publicly complain about a run-heavy offense, especially one that features Dalvin Cook. It's bad for team chemistry, man. It's not just that. It's the cryptic tweets, the social media posts. You're missing practice. I mean, this is going to start fueling trade rumors, man. That's not good for me and you. Rumors are rumors, but you have quoted to the press, there is truth to all rumors. I'm reading it right now. Allen to Diggs is going to be the most electric quarterback wide receiver combination for the next few years, buddy. I'm telling you, we are bringing a Super Bowl to Buffalo. This can't possibly go wrong. Why are we missing practice again? I'm just saying it's not good if Sean McDermott publicly said he's, quote, very concerned about you. Yeah, no, I know you're responsible for all of Josh Allen's success, but let's keep those thoughts to ourselves, okay? Hey, so unless you got paid under the table to promote National Treasure 3 that I'm unaware of, can you tell me why we're posting more cryptic tweets, Chief? Stroud to Diggs is going to be the connection of the century. May to Diggs is going to be the connection of the century. You were doing what on whose boat?
And then Cameron and May spoke on it.
He's living it to the fullest. He's a bachelor. You know, he hasn't tied the knot. He's still searching. He's still enjoying himself. People are saying it's pink cocaine and all that, but I didn't see pink cocaine. I just saw a Kool-Aid pack, but I don't know if it was a Kool-Aid pack. I didn't get to zoom in on it, so I can't really say. What do you think it was? Did you see them sniff anything?
I don't even know. They were holding the bag. Do I think it was Kool-Aid? Absolutely not.
As far as the pink substance is concerned, we can't prove what it is. It could be cotton candy for you. We don't know.
Yeah.
Can't zoom in. Only person that knows is Stat. Tootsie. I've never heard of Tootsie till today. I'm late to the party. I'm sorry. First of all, I never took any cocaine. I never sold the pink one. So I wouldn't even know where to get the pink one from. I'm out to loot with that.
To give some perspective via ESPN, the Pats did sign Diggs, who was 31 years old, to a 3-year, $69 million contract. He is still rehabbing from a torn ACL. He was having a pretty solid season with the Texans overall. And this was voluntary OTAs, so he doesn't have to be there. Furthermore, they are banking on him because their receiving core was doo-doo last year. Quarterback play also doo-doo, but receiving core, not great. 1,723 yards last season. The Pats finished 28th in receptions, tied for 28th in receiving touchdowns, just 10, and tied for last in first downs. So, I'm going to be real with you guys. We've all been young. We have all, been surrounded by stuff, whether we wanted to or not. I have no idea what this is. No idea. I'm not going to say that it is or is not what it has been reported to be. If some want to take that angle, they are more than welcome to. I have no idea. No idea. I saw one dude online trying to make the case that it was a lighter. Don't think so. Could be. Could that easily be a pink lighter? Yeah. Do I think it was? Probably not. No. Diggs said in that video, and we had to take the audio out from it because there was music playing in the background. I think there was Ja Rule playing in the background. That he said, go have fun, which could honestly mean anything in that context. But the fact that he was handing them a bag, like a bag that honestly looks like it comes from a dispensary, could be anything, guys. It could be anything. And Cam is right. The only person that knows is Stefon Diggs. And you think he's going to tell you? How far is the league actually going to take this? I mean, they hardly investigate when some dudes commit acts of DV. Are they going to look into this more than that? The answer, unfortunately, is yes. They will. But as far as if we're going to learn what it is, unless one of them snitches to the NFL and the league office, which I don't think anybody on that boat will, then we're never going to know. This is going to be speculation. Maybe he'll reveal it 10 years down the line when he's retired, 20 years down the line when he's retired, and he'll have a podcast to tell this story. This is a massive, massive trigger warning for what you are about to see. After Liverpool won the Prem, a parade was scheduled in the heart of the city. Then a man drove through the crowd.
Oh! No! What the? Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
This man drove through Water Street. 65 people were injured, and it appears that number may still very well be going up.
Oh, it's a bit bonuses! Holy oh my God! Who's that? What the He's out of him.
What the
What the going on there?
Oh my God, what the
Nah, he's dead,
that's funny, me video on that.
The scenes after. Chaotic. It was awful. And fans wanted a piece of the man who drove into that crowd. And yet one man who jumped all over this.
It all began with a post saying women shouldn't be talking with any kind of authority in the men's game. Come on, let's be serious. It's a totally different game. I cannot take a thing they say seriously in the men's arena.
You can't be there to fit this woke agenda that we've currently got going on in society.
Joey Barton, who we have covered in the past for his narrow-minded, dense views on women, on sports, on immigration, on the world, well, he showed his bigotry once more. Watch how the rhetoric completely shifts prior to learning the driver is a middle-aged white man. Alarming, telling, it is Joey Barton to a T. To move the goalposts once he realizes that it's not exactly the painting of the picture as he thought it would be. The BBC, using Google Earth, showed where the attacker started his drive into the crowd, making his way to hurting many in the process. Some of those numbers, per the New York Times, once more, 65 injured, 27 sent to the hospital. Four people were pulled from underneath that car, with 2 of those 4 being children, and they were seriously hurt. Sky News would update that number to 75. 75 people now injured, and I reiterate, it appears it's still climbing.
It's an absolute tragedy what we're all witnessing now, mate. It's like, I'm going to swear, but who left this road open, honestly? Because all the other roads around the city are like blocked. From 9 a.m. this morning when I'm driving around, it was all blocked. And this main road here, this was a recipe for disaster, a perfect storm. And then 4 people who've basically been run over there. It's like, this ain't no accident. Why have the council left this road open? And I'm sorry, mate, if that upsets people, but at the end of the day, people need to read this is banged out of order. Yeah? And I just want to leave it really there, because at the end of that's like, I'm proper upset over it. Multiple videos, mate, and I don't know, like, take the numbers, the speculation on like how many people have, but there's serious injuries going down. Do you get what I mean? It's like, and this road should never have ever been left open. It was inevitable this was going to happen, wasn't it? this road should never have ever been left open. It was inevitable this was going to happen, wasn't it?
This is a video that has unfortunately garnered serious traction, and it's very important, at least from what we have heard thus far, to fact check it. The British police claim the driver behind the wheel of a 7-seat Ford minivan slipped behind an ambulance when the barrier was removed. Wrote the Times, the ambulance had been called for a member of the public who appeared to be having a heart attack. The man is currently being held by the police on suspicion of attempted murder, dangerous driving offenses, and driving while unfit through drugs, printed the BBC. One spokeswoman, I want to update this, for the Merseyside police would claim that the driver was indeed on drugs. The test came back positive. Before coming on, The Guardian put out an article about 20 minutes ago that the man's name, he has been finally identified as Paul Doyle. He is 53. He has been officially charged with dangerous driving, causing grievous bodily harm with intent, wounding with intent to cause GBH, and attempting to cause GBH with intent after the incident on Water Street. That number, which I kept saying is being updated, is now at 79 people. 79 people have been injured. The youngest, according to The Guardian, was 9. The oldest was 78. According to Rachel Wilson of Merseyside Police, Rachel said, an extensive investigation into the precise circumstances of the incident is ongoing, and we continue to ask people not to speculate on the circumstances surrounding the incident and refrain from sharing distressing content online. Hey, all right. Full disclosure, I've been a Liverpool supporter ever since I met. Due to our friends to this day in college, I had no idea what I was signing up for by getting up early to watch those games. Obviously, it's been very rewarding as a fan. Regardless of your allegiances, not only is this an act of violence, what it does is rain down terror on people just trying to celebrate. I was reading quotes from folks who are supporters of Liverpool that flew in from around the globe because they wanted to make a memory and they wanted to be part of something special. They wanted to be part of community. This is the beautiful side of sports when we all, as fans, come together and celebrate a win from our team. And after seeing these videos, I was filled with anger and rage. Anger and rage. On drugs, not on drugs. It's a despicable act. And I feel terribly for those that are affected. Awful. Brutal to watch. Putting this piece together was brutal. And I wish y'all a speedy recovery. Just rough. Considering the history that this club has with Hillsborough and other unfortunate circumstances, it's just brutal, man. It's just brutal. I'll keep you updated as more info comes in, but overall, awful. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYT Sports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day. Calling out elite people in comedy should be the rule of thumb.
I think Donald Trump's hair is actually another creature.
Yeah.
The hair's like going, good night, Donald. Good night, Donald. Here we go.
Maybe it goes out. It goes out and makes money while he's asleep.
There is something about punching down that feels taboo, and punching up is the way to go.
Crack's not really my thing, but if it was, it would be fine if I was on that side.
Wow.
Don Jr.'s on coke.
We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated. I'm a very stable genius.
It is very important, the work that the Jordan Kleppers are doing, the work that the Good Liars are doing, the work that our team here at the Turks are doing, and many more.
Used to see these tackles, now they tackle. Oh, head-on-head collision. Bing, flag. Football's become soft.
You have Trump doing sound effects for tackles. The choice could not be more clear. Like, let's not beat around the bush about it.